Hey, what is up, team? I hope everyone's doing fantastico, yeah? I'm doing okie dokie dokie dokily, Mr. Flanders hashtag. You guys know who Flanders is? Are Simpsons still around? I don't even know. I stopped watching that show a long time ago. But anyway, hey, check it out. It is a 5-bot combiner. It's what is it? It's 2 transmutates and 3 skelivores. Yep. And full disclosure, the bottom half I totally repurposed from another build. It was the double rack, double transmutate. Yeah. And so when I took them apart, pretty much the rack portions were on the top. And so I just took them apart. And as I just looked at the bottom half, I was like, man, I really like that setup so much. I was like, what can I do with this? And I just happened to have a box of skelivores next to me, and we went to work. And you know what? I mean, I don't know why I kind of never put them together, but dude, I think the purple and like the teal, the cyan work really well. I don't know if it's giving me like G2 Menasor vibes or something like that, but I think the colors actually work out quite well. It's very like hypercolor 90s like. And so yeah, they decided to hang out, and they've actually been fused like this for quite some time. Yeah. They don't mind each other's company. I mean, they are cousins after all. And so yeah, but at the same time, you know, you do get cabin fever of hanging out with the same people all the time. So we are going to take them apart after today's video, and you know, I'm so deeply indebted to them for allowing us to do this shoot and have this video. And so yeah, props to them, right, class? Yeah, definitely. So we're going to pop them apart, and but you know, this is just some really nice things to look at. You know, if you follow this channel, you know that there are several bits in the top that I've also like repurposed as well, like bits and pieces. I mean, this bottom half that I repurposed the entirety, but the tops, yeah, there's lots of like borrowed engineering. And I was talking to Timbo, and Timbo mentioned in one of the comments something about like, you know, busting out a freestyle and then being in the moment and then using those lines again. You know, I mean, you kind of fall back on them because those are your go-tos, your comfortable safe haven, so to speak. And I think some of that manifested over here as well. But anyway, there's lots of cool things about this build that you'll see when we take it apart. So let's go, right? Actually, I was going to say that one video where I actually used the lower half for the double rack, double transmutate. I don't think I posted the lower half video, how to make the legs. And so I'm going to have to do that perhaps at some point out of sequence, but we'll get to it. So, well, actually, I mean, we'll go over how to make the legs today. So maybe that satisfies that, or I'll put out another video. I don't know. Just making content. You know what I'm saying, gang? All right. Bring them up. Yeah, look at that. They look nice. They look nice. All beef and yoked out and stuff. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. Look at all that attitude they got, right? It's nice, even with these dudes from the peanut gallery on the shoulder just providing their opinions and stuff. And it almost looks like Voltron-esque, like this is a bot over here. I mean, in essence it is, but you know, because you can see the P-Trex head and, or Skelivore head rather. And I don't know if Skelivore's a girl, dude. Maybe Skelivore's a gal, and so is Transmutate. So yeah, total girl power over here. And so we are going to take them apart. Let's start with the easy bits. Easy bake ovens, and these are just the arms. And sorry. Focus, Daniel-san, focus. All right, so this is the sword. And the sword is just the entirety of the transmutate tail plugged into the calf. And then it's plugged in like so on the lower thumb, that lower appendage. But when you look at it from the outside, you know, you wouldn't know. It just looks like she's holding it, you know. You wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know. So cool. We just pop that off. This hand is very easy to make. It is one blade, the axe blade, encompassed, sandwiched with 2 hands, 2 claws just plugged in on the side like that, and that's the forearm. And the bicep is made of one of the dinosaur torsos with the buckler other side, and then head plugged in. Jeez. So you can see the arms kind of look like that, and you know, depending on how you change it, you can change the mobility. Depending on how you orient it, you can change the mobility on the character. So yeah, so those are the two arms. All right, and they both have female ports because that's going to plug into the shoulder sockets. Let's move this aside. All right, so I think we're going to crack the figure open in half, and she is actually connected by 2 points. See this right here, that middle of the spine, the frilly bit of the tail, that plugs in down here. And this bit, the waist connector that connects it to the torso, is connected to this head, that bit over there. So I think once we remove that, that all comes off. Yeah, see that? Those two male connectors right there and right there, those are the ones that cinch into the lower half, okay? Let's look at the lower half over here. These legs are so smooth. I like them. I like them. I like them a lot. And the way it's made is, one, we start with the lower half, the crotch waist bit, and that is the transmutate dinosaur, the torso. And look how well that little like buckler hugs that space. Oops. So we just do it like that. Buckler facing forward. Give me 1 second, all right? My throat is super parched. 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the one leg over here. It's not that difficult to make, but there's a lot of very specific things that you need to do to orient it right. So parts that you need are 1 thigh bit, 1 axe bit, 2 calves, and they have to be facing the same direction, the same calves, and then 2 claws and 1 tail. Okay. So what you start by doing is you take the blade and you sandwich that thigh around it, okay? And you want to orient that waist bit perpendicular, because that's what's going to plug in right over here, and that's going to become the leg, and that's really cool. All right, so you have that sandwiched around the axe bit, and on the outside thigh, where that knee port the knee peg protrudes from the bottom, you want to plug in, and I'm gonna take this all apart, but let me just explain it first. You're gonna plug in that calf. From the calf, you're gonna extend that little peg on the side, the one you can flip out. That's gonna plug into this claw. This claw is gonna wrap around, and that has a peg over here, and that's gonna plug in to this calf. And this calf is gonna come down over here. You're gonna flip out that peg on the inside, and it's gonna plug in right there on the other side. And then this plugs up over here. So it's a very, very, very solid piece, the way everything comes together. And so it'll wrap around. Watch. If I pop this off like this, you can see how all of this basically is from this. You see that? So that stems down. And then we have that bit like that. Then you want to plug that like that. Then you're wrapping this around, and you're plugging that into there. Yeah, nice, nice. And when you do that, all right, should be able to stand if I get the balance right. Whatever. You do that but for both sides though. And on the back, you have the tail to be a stabilizer, and also just, I didn't know what to do with it. Also, and then you have the third transmutate head second transmutate head as a stabilizer as well. Okay. Once again, axe bit hugged by the thighs, connected to a calf. Flip out the peg, plug that into the arm or the clothing. Bring the clothing back. That peg plugs into the calf. The calf, you bring it down, flip out the peg, plugs into this, and that plugs into the underside of that. Yeah, it's all sorts of like daisy chaining and just connecting all these different bits to give it like a solid feel. And that we have the lower half there. Okay. Now we're going to look at the top art. Alrighty. Alrighty. Because you got to get the angles right in order for these two things to cinch up properly. Because remember, one has to go right there, and the other one has to go like, one has to go right here. You see that connector right there? And then the other one is right there. So there and there. So it's a little bit of work. I may not put it back together on camera, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me see, how should I trying to think of what's the best way to do this. Yeah, okay. So these two halves are identical, meaning like you got the dino torso, robot, and then you have the shoulder contraption, the side of the pecs, which are made of the thighs, and the frilly part of the tail. Now they are all plugged in to this center bit, okay? But in order to remove that, gosh, there's so many layers to this. How's this connected? Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this back bit first. And that's just like that. And it's a axe with the female port on the bottom. And what you're doing is you're accordioning all of these things. You're kind of folding them up. I didn't have much place to put them. And so that is connected by, you know, that bit right there where that port is. They have two pegs protruding from the side. You plug in the calves. You bring them up, you bend the knee ports, and then you plug in a set of claw, feet, fists, or whatever you want to call it. You have them parallel, align over here. You're just compressing them as much as you can. Then you have one more calf plugged into that little heel, claw, thumb, whatever you want to call it, and you bring this up. And then with this little tab, I just kind of place it between the toes. It just kind of, it doesn't lock it in place, so to speak, but, you know, it keeps it there. So, all right. So this is the body. All right. And these two bits are kind of cinched together by this thigh bit over here. It's going to go like this. It's going to go like this. And that part is going to plug into the bottom. So let me just remove this for now. Then you can see that these two bits are identical. We have the frilly tail bit in the middle. And that peg right there is going to connect to the lower half. And on the side, you just have two dino torsos with robot heads. And this bit over here is just the thigh, and you are sandwiching the frilly part of the tail inside, and that's going to become the shoulder contraption. All right, so we're going to plug this stuff back in. Let's see if we can put them back together. So that was like that. Yeah, I'm more concerned about getting this. I'm going to plug in that axe bit or the back part later. So we're going to plug that in right there. All right. Then we're going to get this bit and plug that in right there. All right, it's cinched up. Now it's really just a matter of adjusting it. Yeah, there you go. We have her adjusted properly. And then we plug in the back piece like that. And then we plug in the arms. We're good to go. We are good to go. We are good to gozer. And there we are. There we have her in all of her glory. And she's nice. She's very, very nice. Very well color coordinated. It works for Hypercolor and Cross Colors and all those 90s color brands. And she's also very blurry because we have to go to the optometrist. There we go. Whew, that was a long video. Thank you so much for watching, gang. I hope you're enjoying these videos. You are probably watching this while I am abroad. I'm probably in Vietnam when you're watching this right now. So enjoy, and hope that there's enough. Hopefully I've made enough content for y'all to enjoy while I'm gone. And if not, well, I'm only human, and I ask for forgiveness. Cool. Thank you so much. Bye.